going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my UFC 108 review video. Good night of fights. And usually this is what happens with a card that you get downed by, and then you're like, it's not going to be that good, and then it ends up turning out to be one of the better cards of the year. This card was just plagued with injuries, and it's great to see that it didn't end up getting any more injuries at the last minute, because we ended up getting a good night of fights. So, I'm going to go over the main card. I'll run over a couple of the other fights too. Junior Dos Santos versus Gilbert Yvel. Junior Dos Santos, wow. He just pretty much said, and I honestly thought that Dos Santos would try to use some counters to try to set up, a takedown or a clinch situation to put Gilbert on his back. Go for a submission where Gilbert is not, he's not as adept to being able to handle the situations on the ground. Dos Santos, I think, is the better grappler in that situation, but Dos Santos was like, forget this. Don't you fools know I train with the Nogueira brothers. I train at Black House. I've got good boxing. And he's really impressed not only me, but many, many MMA fans with his boxing. And he has just been absolutely blasting people, not only with barrages coming forward, but beautiful counters. And this was a beautiful left counter on Yvel, dropping him, going down, pounding him out, and finishing the fight. So congratulations to Junior Dos Santos. He's definitely in the title mix. It'll be interesting to see who he gets next. If Velasquez loses to Nogueira, Dos Santos could possibly get that fight, or he might get the loser of the Carwin Mir fight, which has been slotted for the interim title. I believe it's like at UFC 111. For Gilbert Yvel, maybe a rematch with Czech Congo. Even though he's already beat Czech Congo, maybe Czech Congo would like to have a little bit of revenge in that situation. On to the next fight, Dwayne Bang Ludwig versus Jim Miller. Man, Jim Miller, very, very impressive. At the beginning of this fight, was throwing some good inside and outside leg kicks. Actually caught Ludwig with a beautiful counter right hand, dropped him, moved in. Ludwig was trying to roll to his stomach, and Miller already had a hook in. And then as Ludwig went to continue to roll to his stomach, Jim Miller put the other hook in underneath of Ludwig's chin to go for an armbar, got the armbar, finished the fight, and Jim Miller wins via first-round submission. Congratulations to him. He's looked very, very impressive in his last couple fights. This is another example. For Ludwig, I don't know what the contract situation was with him in the UFC, if this was only a one-fight, one-and-done. Unfortunately, he's an MMA vet. I'm sure he'll end up getting another chance, if not with the UFC, with another organization. So, all right, on to the next fight. This one was, wow, this was a really good fight. Joe Lauzon versus Sam Stout. Many people, I think, from reading some of the forums and other guys' predictions and other stuff, picked Joe Lauzon to win this fight. And wow, did Sam Stout come out and put on an impressive performance in the second and the third round. Lauzon, was very impressive in the first. Actually got the takedown, went for a Kimura, had it locked in. Sam Stout was trying to buck him. Lauzon would not let go. There was a mad scramble on the ground with them rolling. Stout would get back up, and from that point on, throughout every round, was able to stuff takedowns. Even if he did get taken down and put on his back, he was able to get back up, being close to the cage and walk back up the cage. He had some very, very impressive striking, some good knees, some good inside and outside leg kicks, good 1-2 combinations, a couple spinning back fists that almost connected on a couple of them. And Sam Stout goes on to win a unanimous decision in this one. Looked very, very impressive. Sean Tompkins looked very, very happy after the end result of this fight, so I'm sure Sam Stout will get a lot of kudos when he goes back to his camp. Joe Lauzon, biggest thing in this fight, cardio. That's definitely something that needs to be improved upon. And he's had issues in the past with it, but not to this extent. So, all right, on to the next fight. Oh my goodness, Paul Daly versus Dustin Hazlett. I really, honestly, was surprised that Hazlett did not try to move forward a little bit more, didn't try to, get into a clinch situation, didn't try to put Daly up against the cage. He was just kind of content standing there and allowing Daly to gauge the distance. And he sat there way, way too long. Daly was just starting to throw the jab and like, okay, let's see what you do. I'm going to throw the jab. Let me see how you react. Okay, that's how you reset there. Okay, I'm going to throw an inside and outside leg kick. Okay, that's what okay, let me throw the jab. Let me throw a jab. 1-2 combination. Okay, you're kind of just, And then all of a sudden, he went, all right, I'm going to throw the right, and then bow, blasted him with that left hook, and went down through two probably unnecessary shots. Hazlett was already out, but Paul Daly wins via a first-round knockout. Very, very impressive. Maybe a fight for him next would maybe be like a Marcus Davis to kind of really solidify that he is, a legitimate guy in that weight class. For Dustin Hazlett, he'll be back. He's already, bounced back from the Koscheck loss. He'll bounce back from this, and he'll continue to get better, I do believe. All right, on to the main event, Rashad Evans versus Thiago Silva. Rashad Evans did pretty much what I thought was going to happen. I figured that what the game plan from Greg Jackson in this fight would be to use 1-2 combinations and try to go for a takedown, put Thiago on his back, because he's had some issues when he has been put into those type of situations, and we really haven't seen him in the UFC into a really bad spot when it comes to that. So Rashad was able to do that throughout the first couple rounds, come in, use his speed and his quickness with the good 1-2 combinations, clinch, get the takedown, put Thiago on his back, assume a dominant position, work a little bit of ground and pound, even though Thiago would be able to get back to his feet, and then do it again. In the third round, though, Thiago Silva starts just trying to pump the crowd up, and actually lands a beautiful right straight, right to Evans, and almost put him on the mat. Unfortunately, and I know that his camp is going to go after him for this, and is going to say, what were you thinking? Instead of worrying about trying to finish the fight, Thiago was more worried about, unfortunately, mocking Rashad a little bit, and he had a golden opportunity when Rashad was hurt right there at the end to finish the fight, and he did not do so. So Rashad Evans is able to use the good game plan of the 1-2 combinations, the takedowns. Actually had Mount in either round 1 or 2, I can't remember which one, and goes on to win a unanimous decision. So congratulations to him. More than likely, he's going to get Rampage Jackson in his next fight, probably over the summer at some point. For Thiago Silva, he'll be back. He's continuously gotten better. He's gotten very, very good as of late with his boxing, and I'm sure he'll only get better from this point forward. All right, on to the couple other fights that we got to see. Martin Kampmann versus Jacob Volkman. Martin Kampmann looked very, very impressive, dropped Volkman twice, and then was able to actually get a 4-finger guillotine from the top and finish the fight. Dan Lozon versus Cole Miller. Wow. This could be an early submission of the year candidate, on top of the fact that it was, I'm thinking this one's going to be submission of the night. Cole Miller is able to, rebound back from getting dropped by Dan Lozon. He gets an inverse triangle and a Kimura at the same time and finishes this one. So congratulations to him. Wow. That was very, very impressive. Ryan Jensen versus Mark Munoz. Mark Munoz was able to hurt Ryan Jensen. Ryan Jensen actually lays out flat. Mark Munoz pounds him out and wins via first round submission via punches. So congratulations to him. So overall, very, very good night of fights. Very, very good card. Like I said, this card was plagued with injuries, and it ended up being a very, very good night of fights. So make sure you check it out if you didn't get to see it. I'll be back here in the next couple weeks to cover the upcoming events that are coming up, as well as do some videos related to mixed martial arts. So on that note, hope you guys are having a great holiday, and you guys take it easy.